Alright, we're about to kick this off. 1-0 against Lin. I think the hypest of our 4 quarterfinal matches. The last one to be determined. The last semifinalist to make it through. Best of 5 between South Korea and China. As so often, we have 3 South Koreans in the semifinals already. Can 1-0 finally claim one slot for the Chinese? Or is Lin gonna make it a perfect top 4 for South Korea? We're gonna find that out right now. Starting off on Echo Isles. On the left-hand side, we have 1-2-0 playing a ghoul build with a Crypt Lord, and Lin playing the Farseer. Acolyte Scout saw that there was no shop coming up, so with that he already knows it has to be a Farseer. If you play Blade Master, you need a shop desperately. But if you play without a shop, you can tech much faster, as we see here. Tier 2 for Lin starting really, really quickly. I would love for 1-0 to just forego the expansion right now. If you just stay on one base with Crypt Lord, the Farseer will fall off heavily. But if you expand, you give the Farseer Harass an opening to be very effective. Oh, Lin is actually creeping the middle camp. That's pretty cool. That would be level 2 for him right away. Is that going to work out with the timing? Killing the Ogre Mauler takes quite a long time. I haven't quite seen this orc opening yet. 1-0 now knows that the Farseer is creeping somewhere. He doesn't know exactly where, but he probably assumes this camp. But that means 1-0 is safely gonna get this whole camp, and with that level 2. The Ziggurat should also be finishing, I imagine. Alright, that's quite interesting. Oh, he fakes the Impale. Wand of Illusion, trying to confuse the opponent. And the expansion is coming. 1-0 is gonna try with the expansion after all. This was the playstyle with which 1-0 was successful in DreamHack Fall. Expansion will definitely be cancelled once. 1-0 doesn't have much lumber here, by the way. It's an easy grunt surround. That one is dead, but so is the ghoul. Wolf will chase it down. Experience goes to the Crypt Lord. Narrow Tower coming up now. Graveyard before the tech. 1-0 is going to need to transition into Fiends here probably pretty soon. Bowling with only ghouls. Very, very hard, especially once the tech starts kicking in. We don't have Headhunters. It's grunts. Into Fire Lord has been very popular for quite some time. And there it is. With that Fire Lord, though, usually you either have to win the game right away, cancel the expansion, or get a massive advantage because the Fire Lord will fall off heavily later on. So will the Farseer. Both those heroes will get hard countered by destroyers at some point. But the timing seems to work out well. Narrow slow against the Fire Lord. He's surrounded and he's dead, but the expansion is cancelled. Once more. Oh, TP transferred. But this time the expansion will finish. However, with a big delay. 1-0 might be able to go for the Merc camp right now. Does he feel he has the time to do this? He's scouting as well. What's Lin doing? Double Bestiary. Wyvern to be coming in. Even more of a reason to go for the Merc camp. Yeah, I think 1-0 should have gone for the Merc right away. Bring all the ghouls from the main. Creep the Merc. But maybe he was worried that he was going to have his expansion cancelled again then. And I guess he would have been right to assume so. Because the Orc is coming in from the south again. Spirit Tower coming up. Oh, and look at the attack path. That's going to be probably another cancel here. Wow, Lin with some sick cancels against this expansion. That is definitely going to be enough damage. He's trying to get the surround on the Fire Lord. Oh, he misses it! Big mistake by 120. It's another cancel, isn't it? Oh, wow. The Grunt and the Wolves cancel it again. Oh my god, so many cancels. The Grunt is going to die, but well worth it. As we have Wyvern joining in. Importantly, though, 2 towers were upgraded, so... Oh, and he lets the Grunt slip away. 120 definitely not with a perfect game. A few mistakes here and there. But Lyn is still stuck on tier 2. I would love for him to just go tier 3 right now, maybe. But then again, do you want to go late game with this Farseer Fire Lord combo? Berserker hired in the main base. We have 1 narrow tower, no spirit yet. Oh, and look at the Wyvern. In the perfect position here in the little corner, but that Berserker is supposed to deal with these Wyvern over time. In the meanwhile, in the main we have the shop lost and the tower only upgrading now. This also seems a little bit late by 120, for being completely honest.
Forces are under attack.
Crypt Lord coming back towards his main. He doesn't have level 3 yet. No level 2 beetles. That's a big deal as well. 120 under serious pressure. This Berserker is saving his behind here. Finally the Haunted finishes. What's going to be the timer on that? About 8 minutes, I suppose. Oh yeah. 8-minute expo. What was supposed to be a fast expansion. Great delay by Lyn. And now with his Wyvern, he's got more map control. As long as he takes out the Berserkers, which he just did, these ghouls are easy kills. And he's going tier 3 now. Which means soon he's going to be able to go for a tiny Great Hall counter expo. Zero needs a second crypt. Go for more fiends. The altar going down, that's going to mean no DK here soon. Or as soon as tier 2 is finished. Shop at the expo. I think there should be an altar and a crypt here. Not a shop. So many ghouls going down. In Europe, it was Juan actually who pioneered a new style, playing Crypt Lord and playing it one base. I think there's a really good opportunity for undeads nowadays to just open with Crypt Lord ghouls. And if you see Farseer, just go one base tech. Don't go expansion, just go one base tech. I feel that is the next step of the meta. Next step for the Crypt Lord might be return to the underworld. He dies, and this game is looking disastrous for 120. Remember, he lost his altar. Only remembering to remake it now. Macro here for 120, looking a little sloppy. Of course, he's under lots of pressure here, so it's hard to do that all perfectly. But Lyn played this really well. Excellent expansion denies. Delaying it by as much as he could. 120 is not tapping out yet. Oh, zippity zap. The Fiend goes down. Another slight mistake. Didn't pay attention to the kill threshold. Slaughterhouse coming. And there's no second crypt. Only now. This crypt could have been made down here a long time ago. Thank you, Care, with a 4-month resub. Tier 3 about to be finished. And then it should be time for a tiny Great Hall. And Lyn can just creep up the entire map. He can take this camp away. He can even take this camp away. And he's going to be so far ahead in hero levels that it doesn't really matter that he doesn't have the best heroes on paper. Because he's going to have such a massive experience lead that it's going to be easily fine enough. 120 is just playing SimCity right now. He's not microing any army, he's just taking care of his buildings and macro. Oh, that's another fiend here, perhaps. He doesn't have any catch, though, so that one actually gets away. But he can creep this camp away. He can also steal this one away. Then there's so many camps left on the orc side. Oh, look at that! He's creeping this with 2 wolves and wyvern, and the peons are moving out. That's kind of cool. I think it would still be easily worth it to go for a tiny, though. Because the normal orc expansion takes forever. Fiend armies are supposed to beat wyvern armies, though, on paper, so this game isn't over yet. If 120 gets to 70 supply fiends, he can still win this. But, as mentioned before, there is a massive experience lead on the orc side. There's the tiny. It may have been a mistake not to creep this away for Lin. But then again, he wanted to get up his counter expansion pretty quickly. A lot of Wind Riders, no upgrades yet. Especially... Oh, I can't... I couldn't do the scroll thingy anymore. Yeah, especially lumber armor upgrades would be beneficial, but he doesn't even have a war mill yet. No war mill here, very surprisingly. Lin was saving a lot of resources, just massing purely wyvern. Normally, the way you win late game wyvern against fiends is by having a strong TC with a powerful stomp ability to allow for the wyvern to put in the damage before they all die. Oh, items stolen. Invul potion by the Farseer. Wait, no, Invul for the Crypt Lord. Ah, okay. Invul and heal scroll and protection scroll. A single heal scroll also for the Farseer. Panda.
A player's forces are under
Drunken
attack.
Haze? I think Drunken Haze would be, but also Panda. Isn't... I would have thought TC or Shadow are way better, but okay. 1-1 upgrades on the Fiends. 2-2 heroes. Not the strongest heroes for 1-2-0, but certainly a high amount of Fiends. It's going to come down to micro here. And there's going to be no stomp, so it's going to make microing a lot easier for the undead side. Also, there's no endurance aura on the orc side. This is something you also have to keep in mind. No additional move speed. And no reinforced defenses, of course. The wyvern come in at a good angle, take out the first fiend instantly. And no damage towards those fiends towards the wyvern at all yet. The summons in the front line making it hard to reach the Wind Riders, which is of course the targets you want to focus out first if you're 1-2-0 here. Level 3 for the Crypt Lord. Should be Beetles, I suppose. A lot of fiends went down already for 1-2-0. 66 supply still remaining. 71 for the Orc. Oh, the DK is going to go down right here, and 1-2-0 is going to call for the GG. 1-0 lead for Lin. The Farseer pressure into Firelord follow-up works out here this time. If the undead defensive play at the beginning isn't super on point, then the strategy can definitely find a crucial timing with those important expansion cancels that we saw right there. I really think the new strategy for undead has to be open with Crypt Lord and maybe expand. But if you see Farseer, don't expand. Just tech. Because usually you outscale the one base Farseer play so heavily. And the thing is, if the Orc then wants to shift gears and wants to go for tier 2 expansion with Farseer, seeing the undead on one base, it's going to be extremely hard to do against the Crypt Lord who has Beetles level 2. Cryptid has been played mostly with fast expansion over the last 9 months, ever since Revelation. But Juan from Germany showed a really strong Cryptlord build against Orc specifically. Cryptlord, 1 base. Actually really, really good. Especially against Farseer. I think, though, that that new strategic option hasn't reached NetEase yet. And hasn't reached 1-0 yet. If he still tries with the Cryptlord and the Expo, or if he goes back to DK Standard, we're going to see here. Map 2 will be Last Refuge. And that's a pretty good map for DK Fiend Standard if you pay attention to the Orc's creep route and don't let him get away with too much. Echo is a horrible map for Undead. No, it's not. It is absolutely not horrible. If you play Standard against Blade Master, the TC is going to have nothing to creep. And you can actually go for some really smart creep routes on Echo Isles if you go DK Standard. Everyone keeps obsessing over the Ogre Magi that the Blade Master can steal and the claws he can buy. But that's only a small part of the game. Echo is actually a really good on that map if you know how to play it. The players are in, and we are ready. Was it a 3-0 or a 3-1 they played the last time in DreamHack? I think it was 3-1, right? Yes. That was the grand final, where 1-0 won with 3-1. And that was DK Standard. In the semifinals, against Fly, he destroyed Fly with Cryptlord expansion. And then the grand final, he showed that 1-0 can also do it with a DK Standard. I would kind of assume a return to DK Standard now. Echo Isles is the best map for Cryptlord fast expansion. Maybe with the exception of Terranos. So if he's having a tough time there, I would assume we're going back to the Standard now, considering the Cryptlord just failed. And of course, 1-0's early game DK harass and late game control of the DK Fiend Lich army is amazing. 1-0 is the best Orc versus Undead player in the world, in my opinion, without question. Happy eclipses 1-0 in most other regards, but against Orc, 1-0 is clearly better, with a more aggressive playstyle, especially early on. Doing. The prediction again. Who's going to win the next map? 1-0 or Lin? Around a 50% win rate against each other. Two of the best players in the world. The first game, I think, we shouldn't expect the other ones to be so one-sided. I think 1-0, you know, sometimes he needs a little bit of time to get in the groove. And now we're going to see what he's truly capable of. And Lin, what's he going to do next? We do in fact see a return to Standard with a Tet Fiend opening here. DK Fiends will be the play. It's not too hard to predict. Last Refuge, harder to do the Cryptlord expansion than Echo Isles. At least in the beginning. So, could have been an attempt here by Lin to go back to Blade Master, but no, he's going with Farseer. Would have been crazy if this now had been a Crypt Lord with a Ted Fiend build, but no, it's the good old Death Knight. Oh, and an early War Mill. Here we go. Farseer Headhunters by Lin. Really cool to see. He's going to be delaying the tech a lot for this. He halted peon production for quite a while. Is the Akka going to scout it? Oh, he didn't see it. He only saw until around here. And he saw no shop, so 1-0 already knows it's a Farseer. But he didn't see the War Mill. Oh, there's going to be a late tech here for Lin. So, Farseer Headhunters, thanks to Grubby and Kiwikaki in the West, has been popular for a really long time. On Netties, sometimes played, not that much though. On the top level, not really considered very viable. Because it has some clear weaknesses. DK is starting off with the ring first and realizes the Farseer probably going to be creeping over there. Ooh, this could be a sick last hit. Oh, a little too slow. 1-0. Should have been a little closer to the creep. And, you know, just those little mistakes. There was an opening here for him to steal the last hit. But he misses that one. That's a big deal. The High Priest has like 60-something experience, I think.
Forces are under attack.
Once you have a couple of Headhunters, you can creep heavily. Normally what the Orc wants to do is slow down the Undead early, harass, pull mana and HP out of them. Oh, he's even involving the Rock Golem here, which is really cool. Blocking in the DK. Wow. He didn't kill really anything, but he forced some more HP off the DK. He got some good scouting. And yeah, once you have a few Headhunters, you can creep very, very well on Last Refuge. Lots of heavy armor creeps on this map. Lots of camps where pulling out the camp is going to be valuable. Oh, wow. He's going to go for the Merc camp already. Sick creep route by Lin. Wow, this is really cool. I love this. It's gonna be level 3, isn't it? He's not going for the Berserker, interestingly. He doesn't have the supply right now. Sobi Mask. Wonderful drop. 1-0 now. Sees the creep as it's finishing, but he's going to be down a full level pretty much. And double Wand of Illusion is so much scouting as well for Lin. So normally what you want to do as Undead against Orc is try to get away with a few greedy camps early, then try to rush level 3 DK as quickly as you can, get the level 2 coil, buy a mana potion maybe, and then go hunting against the Headhunters with Coil Nova, and delay tier 3. Stay tier 2 longer, go for statues and more fiends, and force a fight early. Use Coil Nova to take out Headhunters, and don't let the TC creep for free. 1-0 is doing the exact opposite. He's going for a super fast tech. And is playing this really passively. TC is coming out now. Pretty late with how much that tech was delayed from the Orc. Then doing an amazing job with his illusions. Always able to figure out where the opponent is and then can go for the greedy camps. This camp isn't even so greedy. With level 3 and this amount of Headhunters, this is a safe camp to take. This one was a little bit greedy. But since he knew where the Undead was, it was actually safe to do. Wonderful usage of Wand of Illusion here by Lin. Sock, by the way, is waiting in the semifinals. It's hard for him to pick a favorite opponent here that he would prefer to go up against. Because Lin is insanely good against human. And 1-0 is also extremely good against human. And he's going to play Crypt Lord, and that's pretty damn hard if you're the human player. Farseer here with his early level 3 can also pressure the undead really well. If you only have 2 fiends for such a long time, the Farseer and the wolves can keep that small undead army busy really, really easily. Another reason why a longer tier 2 stage with more fiends and faster statues can be beneficial against this build, but we don't see that here. The TC finally coming out to start creeping. He's got 2 safe camps he can go for, but it's not level 3. I think Lin was a little too cautious creeping this camp instead of this one. He was a little worried about a creepjack, but before the Lich comes out, a creepjack there really shouldn't have been dangerous at all. Oh, wow. Tier 2 expansion. That's very unusual to see with this build. Normally... Oh, and scouted right away. Skeleton scouts it right away. Normally with this build, we see a fast tier 3, an upgrade into Berserkers, and oftentimes a 3rd hero Shadowhunter with a Farseer Headhunters. But here, this expansion, 2.5 minutes. 1-0 is tier 3 already. 1-0 could just counter expand. Flute for the Lich. Wonderful item. Going for the orb as well. He probably wants to throw in a Dark Ranger as well. Big item for Lin. He's not level 3 yet. If 1-0 forces a fight right now, this would be big problems. Oh, the DK again. Almost in time to steal the last hit, but not quite.
Forces are under attack.
Farseer level 4. That's very nice to have early on, but still not TC3. Alright, onto the tavern. Dark Ranger or Pit Lord? Pit Lord, actually. Calling over right away. The statues in the back. If you don't have a Blade Master, it's extremely hard, almost impossible to take out these statues. The TC level 1, the level 1 stomp, I mean, not doing that much. The Berserkers, or the Headhunters aren't Berserkers yet. It's all down to the Farseer. The Wolves and the Chain Lightning have to win this fight for Lin. And if he loses this fight, he's losing this game because he's stuck on tier 2. And he would lose the expansion. The Ghouls added in also for a good amount of damage. The Hall of Terror doing a great job, even saving the Ghoul on the sliver of health. Kodo Beast staying alive for a little bit longer perhaps than necessary. Destroyer form upgrade apparently not finished yet. Clutch Coil coming in towards the end there. The big mana potion is, by the way, still available. And another coil comes through. And this Orc army has serious damage problems once it runs out of mana. The TC is out of mana. He never had the level 2 stomp. The Farseer Headhunter opening, I don't think he played it right. The expansion is now finished, but Lin is really far behind right now. If he can buy a few more minutes of time, then maybe. But these coils just so on point. He's still got the big mana potion. We have seen plenty of big mana potions win a game for Happy before, and now it might do the same for 1-2-0, killing so many Headhunters. That Kodo Beast might barely survive, but no, perfect target fire always by 1-2-0. Oh, but now, the Fiend's exposed. There's going to be at least one going down, but also one returning. With the DK killing off the Kodo. And the statue is actually going down as well. Okay, it's not over yet. Lin somehow stays alive. It would have been very easy to lose the game right there. Still no Destroyer form? Nope. But web now. That Fiend is going to be going down. The Howls are, by the way, extremely well used. But the TZ is level 3 now. You know what? Maybe I was too critical too fast. Wonder is getting a lot of experience here, by the way. Since he's only going up against a tier 2 Orc army, he can stay 1 base versus 2 for a long time. If 1-0 gets to 5, 4, 3 hero levels, he can definitely play this 1 base against 2. Waiting for the last second with the coil. 1-0 now, out of mana, but Lin with hardly anything left here in the middle. Excellent control by 1-2-0. The statue movement, the frost armor, all spell usage, the focus fire, really good. But Lin also doing a good job, finding a few pickoffs here himself. But killing heroes is extremely hard for Lin. TC gonna fall back. He's gonna remember the tome. He's gonna get a little bit smarter. Good saves by Lin. 1-0 lost a lot of army, but he got a lot of experience. DK is gonna get level 4. And he doesn't really need Death Pact. Pitlord level 2. Lich level 3. There's a red camp still left. There's this and this. This game's far from over. Lumber's looking rough here for 1-0. He has to remake some ghouls. He's finally getting Destroyer form. If the headhunter numbers are low, Destroyers are going to be really, really good. At the moment, we have 3 headhunters only. And no tier 3. No lumber at all for Lin to attempt any kind of tier 3. He's got the double barracks, which I think is pretty cool. He can go heavily into headhunters if he wants. He's got a lot of raiders. 5 raiders, wow. He only had 1 bestiary, but he saved the raiders so amazingly that he kept them alive. Very, 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 very well done. He's super fast as well, with those movement speed auras that he has. Ooh, Cloak of Flames for the Pitlord. That is amazing. One statue going to be taken out, traded perhaps for a raider. Oh my god, that one survives again. These raiders, again, live to see another day and fight another day. But the levels are rising. I don't think the DK should be creeping here with the other 2. Okay, sends him away. Pitlord's gonna get level 3. Oh, he got the Wand of the Wind! Against the TC, that's amazing. 1-0 also going for an invul potion. More statues coming. 1-0 also his supply. He only has 9 supply in economy. The rest is all army. For Lin, it's 5 supply here, 5 more here, 3 more here. So it's 13 supply in economy. Pitlord 3. What's he going for? Howl or Cleave? It's Cleave. More damage coming in. The Cloak, more damage. Lich, soon to be level 4, more damage. Plus 4 intelligence, as you guys know. Alright, the game is going to be hit and run. Lin realizes he's stuck on tier 2. He's got a weak army for fighting, but he can always try to abuse the buildings. TC with great items, by the way. 1-0 going into upkeep. He should feel very confident trying to take a fight right now. We have a good amount of headhunters again. Very important against the destroyers. Alright, Lin, is he going to take this fight now? Pitlord into the front line. Invul potion on the Lich. TC. Cyclone! There it is! There should be a second one coming right after. Oh, and the raiders are getting absolutely destroyed. And Cyclone shortly after the stomp. Little mistake there. Oh my god, but the raiders. But the raiders! Look at them go! The raiders must die, like the Prodigy taught us so many years ago. All the raiders dead. No ensnares to be worrying about anymore. And now the undead tier 3 army can reign supreme. The TC, the only scary thing really anymore in this army. DK is staying out of stomp range, as he should. The headhunter is good against the destroyers, but not good against much else. They really need to be berserkers at this point. Nice chain lightning, takes out a fiend, but again, this is experience being traded. And this undead tri-hero combo scales like crazy. Aggressive coils even coming in at this point. And no ensnares. 1-0 can just micro to his heart's content. Did you pick up the item? Yes, it's a cloak. And there's just not enough damage. The DK healing is too strong. Destroyer goes down, TC reaches level 4, the Orc army extremely fast now. Oh my god, they're so fast. But once they're in range of the focus fire, the army dies quickly. Lin down to 50 supply. Can he somehow still win this game? He's got one more stomp. He actually got a few more stomps left with that mana potion. He's gonna get 2 fiends. Only 1 actually. But how is he ever gonna kill these heroes? Now that the DK for 1-0 is out of mana, maybe it's possible. The DK, look at this, is also close to level 5. Once he's level 5, this Pitlord is gonna be so survivable. But the Pit Lord might not survive this anymore. Invul Potion transferred. The Farseer actually didn't have enough mana for a Chain Lightning. There's another Stomp though. Hits it on the Fiends. That might be 2 Fiends going down right there. Pit Lord level 4. Level 2 Howl now. Level 5 Farseer. He's got a Chain Lightning again. No Burrow on these Fiends, unfortunately, for 1-0. So this will be another one going down. The DK, though, about to hit level 5. Oh, but the Pit Lord is going to die shortly before he transfers the ring, but that wasn't enough. DK now level 5. What a crazy game. Could kill this Grunt with a coil. Pit Lord. Game is still not over. Game is still not over. Lin lost a lot right there. And the DK is now 5. And the Pit Lord is level 4. He's going to go for a Tavern Revive. Oh, the Farseer. Is there a Nova? In a second there is. Oh. Doesn't want to try it. Would that have been enough for a kill? 400 HP? Coil Nova? I'm not sure. Whew. Stressful game. That Wand of the Wind. Actually, only the first one was used well. But the first one already was such a big deal in that fight. That Wand of the Wind was even better back in the day. Some peons feeling the pain. Level 3 coil now. One Fiend gets caught. Oh, Dark Ritual right away. More mana for the Lich. Coil Nova. That Raider is dead. And again, no more ensnares for the Orc. Has to do it all with Stomp. How many Stomps does he have? 3 or 4. First Stomp only hits the Lich. That wasn't a good one. The Nova and the Cleave and the Howl and everything is stacking up. Oh my god, this tier 2 Orc army seems to be getting slaughtered. Wonderful splits by 1-0. Making sure he never gets stomped too hard. He's splitting into all sides. Lin is trying to do the same, but he's got so few tools to actually have big impact. The Stomp is the only high impact ability that Lin has anymore. Whereas 1-0 has Coil and Nova, and he can kite and statue movement and all of that. Kodo Beast gets a Devour, but at this point it's all up to the heroes. The units don't matter so much anymore. It's all about the heroes. And 1-0 has 5-4-4. I don't think it can be dealt with anymore. Just the heroes and the statues should be enough to close out this game. 40 supply for Lin. He has been absolutely outscaled. Still a mana potion on the DK. 1-0 always so fast with pulling back his units instantly once they're getting attacked. Combining that with Frost Armor, he can kite so well. And it's a downside when you don't play tier 3. You don't have Orb of Lightning. You don't have triple hero. At some point you will get outscaled extremely hard. Unless you can kill the undead before he gets to these levels, but killing 1-0 with only a tier 2 Orc army, almost impossible. On a smaller map like Echo Isles, I think this might work when the undead can't creep to high levels. But here, this is gonna be the equalizer. A fun game for 1-0 as well, fighting one base versus 2 for such a long time, and having crazy powerful heroes in the late game. That cloak, by the way, I would love to have a damage meter. Must have done insane DPS. Cloak plus cleave, pretty good. 2 fiends die, 3 fiends die. Even if all the fiends and all the destroyers die, it doesn't matter. Just the heroes and the statues right now are probably strong enough for 1-0 to beat 60 supply. Just heroes and statues. Hail Mary trying to go for the DK, but he's pretty tanky with the Frost Armor with the statue next to him. And again, no ensnares anymore. The Raiders just die too quickly. If there's no shadow, everything dies super fast. Oh, nice coil dodge there with the Invul Potion. TC, he wants to get the kill, but he can't. He's so fast. With that Legion that he also found. But not fast enough to kill off the Death Knight. Statue uptime, outstanding by 1-0 as always. There's a Farseer dying. 5-5-5 heroes and GG. Yeah, I think tier 2 orc just that doesn't work anymore. This was popular a while ago, you know, back in the Spiral days when Spiral was playing orc and was destroying all the orcs in Europe. Farseer tier 2 expo, very popular, pretty effective, but it turned out over time that the top undeads like 120 and Happy, you just can't kill them. You can't kill them with a tier 2 orc army, and if you can't kill them, at some point they're gonna have crazy strong heroes, and then it doesn't matter how big your army is if you only have tier 2. The Farseer Thunderstar was pretty interesting. I think you should have just gone tier 3. Just creep up the map, level the TC, go to tier 3, and then add a Shadow Hunter probably. But tier 2 orc is not the way to go. That ties up our game at a 1-1. Honestly, Lin did pretty well. That first crucial attack, first crucial fight to defend the expansion, when his TC was only level 2. He was close to losing everything right there, but how crazy were those Raider saves? He saved like 4 Raiders, each on less than 100 HP. Really, really well done. But Raiders, you know, they're good for ensnaring, but they're horrible at everything else. That Pit Lord choice also was a really smart move there in the first big fight, because if the TC isn't level 3, you don't really need a Dark Ranger to control him, as he doesn't have that high of an impact. And the Pit Lord with the Howls. Howl doesn't seem like it's such a hard spell to use, but actually positioning yourself in the middle and always using it in the right time can oftentimes be forgotten in the heat of battle. But 120 remembered it very well. Great execution by 120. He's going, or he did go, with a Tet Fiend standard. And perhaps that is the better approach against Lin. He showed that in the DreamHack fall. And now we'll see what we get on map 2, Concealed Hill. I'm gonna start a little prediction here. I know you guys like that one. Concealed Hill. Should be very hard to do a Cryptid expansion. This should be standard. If we're going to see DK against Blade, I would assume it's this map. But also, I think this can be a pretty hard map for Orc to creep effectively on, especially if the master of disruptive early game in this matchup 1-0 is your opponent. Top right. In the blue, he just equalized the series 1-0 again with a standard opening. Tet Fiend build, no Cryptlord experiment here. Are we gonna see a Blade Master finally? I feel like Orcs are too heavily relying on Farseer nowadays. In this matchup anyways. As Hitman showed in his games, if Blade Master is played well against Cryptlord, it can also work out. And the Farseer is just such a liability in the late game. He is just so much weaker than a Blade first. But there's no shop, which should mean a Farseer. I guess on this map, I can get behind it. If you get Farseer 3 here quickly, You can pressure the undead very, very well, because all these camps are pretty hard to creep before you have statues. And also, if you have the Farseer on level 3 and you pressure the undead, the TC has a very strong creep route. He can go for natural into merchant, and then I think he needs one more green or something for level 3. And you can expand behind this. For that reason, Concealed Hill was very, very popular for Farseer Tier 2 Expo. But again, it's kind of the same story. If you can't kill the undead with your Tier 2 army early, you usually get destroyed later on, even if you have 2 bases. There was a Peon Scout, by the way. Wanted to make sure he's not getting surprised by any Crypt Lord. Indeed, this is the DK.
A player's forces are under attack.
So, just a bit of peaceful creeping here towards the beginning. Ring for the DK, Tomo Strength for the Farseer. Wait, was it Tomo Strength? Actually, I didn't see. Cloak and Ring? Not the items you're hoping for. Green camp over here with the wolves and the grunt. This has also been known for a while, this creep route, so 1-0. Not getting surprised, not getting distracted by this Farseer. Oh, who's almost level 2. Needs one more kill. Playing around the last hit here, and Farseer gets it. But DK is getting the experience here, so experience is staying very even across the board. I would love for Lin to play this more passively and prioritize more safe creeping. Again, level 3 Farseer is a big game changer in this matchup early on Tier 2. But he's playing very aggressively. I think the perfect thing for 1-0 right now would be to just follow this Farseer around and don't let him creep. But this is cool. Lin summons new wolves and wants his wolves and grunts to creep a green camp, get him more XP, and the Farseer solo tries to distract the undead. 1-0 again with his 2 Fiend tech. That seems to be his new thing. And now we're in this spot where it's pretty hard to creep, because this camp is pretty tough, this camp is pretty tough, with only 2 Fiends and a DK. Not very easy to creep at all. Oh, if he's smart, 1-0 could steal this camp away. That could be pretty dope. It's wasting a bit of time. As always, great skeleton scouting.
A town is under siege. A player's forces are under
Oh, creeping
attack.
this camp away from the TC is also very helpful. If he was able to steal this, and then this, that would make the TC's level 3 very hard. Farseer trying to do some damage with the good old Telestaff Wolf Harass, but he doesn't have a speed scroll, so it's very hard to actually get some kills here. Here comes the TC. Starts creeping with the grunts. And the Farseer did not get level 3.
Forces are under attack.
Plus 1-0 stealing this camp away from the opponent, so it's got full mana, which is a little triggering.
Town is under siege.
Acolytes were forced off the line here at times, but none of them died. Gold difference is almost 200. Okay, not bad. But the DK almost level 3. A single wolf will be enough. And again, scouting with the skeletons, healing up a little bit at the fountain. And if the Farseer was level 3 right now, he could just pressure this undead army by himself, probably. Oh, the creep jack timing here as well. Oh, it's on the creep jack, actually. Oof. Lucky break for Lin. If he had gotten creep jacked here, that would have been super painful, but I think the scout for 1-0 just barely slipped. There should be a peon coming out soon for the expo. There it is. But the TC is level 2 and the Farseer is level 3. A little bit of a mistake by 1-0, letting this go unpunished. Two raiders. Could be able to force a TP here, maybe. Ideally, he wants to get the fiends. Ah, okay, no. TC with a stomp. Oh! Fiends pulled back. Did he intentionally pretend like he wasn't walking away from the stomp until the very last second? That would be pretty next level. Expansion started, but tier 3 for 1-0 already finished. And again, no creeping for Lin here for quite some time. Farseer did finally get level 3, but the TC, he's the one who also needs to have level 3 here, sooner rather than later. 1-0 has no items, by the way. He sold the cloak, he sold the ring. Get more gold. Hood. Definitely not the best item. Oh, I'm lagging. Uh-oh. Damn it. My internet just died, which is a very bad time. God damn it. For everyone watching on YouTube, you're still seeing this recording as I am stressing out and hoping my internet returns. Sometimes I have these disconnects. And it's very, very annoying. It usually takes a few seconds. And then it's back. Unfortunately taking a little bit longer here. I'm very sorry about that. I really wanted to see that game as well. Alright, we're back. There's a clean feed that we can use as a secondary source. Okay. I'm sorry about that, but we're doing the best we can. So, this is the clean feed. Expansion was cancelled. And with that, once again, Lin is in big trouble. He's trying to go tier 3 now, but he's still going to be stuck on Farseer. Unfortunately, the stream is stuttering a little bit. But 1-0 looking confident here once again. He doesn't quite have the crazy hero levels yet. But he doesn't need those crazy hero levels here in this game because he's playing one base. Lin healing at the fountain. Clean feet being a little problematic. TP out by Lin. He doesn't like the look of this. Nice little end snare Kodo devour towards the end. Is the stream running now or not? Yeah, these stream lags, like this one, this is on the Chinese clean feed, so nothing I can do about those, unfortunately. Game is still looking good for 1-0. Lin with a pretty big army now. He was able to get a lot of gold actually out of this expansion. But he doesn't have his tier 3 upgrades yet. Sorry about the lags, guys. Nothing I can do about those. One-0 will get a lot of stronger here if he gets a few more levels. Pit Lord 2, Lich 3, DK 4. These are all really big level ups. And there is a few more creeps left on the map. Another little spike. Alright, well we have a second here between the action. Let's see if I can restart this stream. Maybe that helps. Next fight continues. Again, sorry about these little inconveniences, guys. We're gonna try to do better for the next map. Lots of Wyvern actually up in the air. They do have Venom Spears now, so there are tier 3 upgrades. The problem in this kind of game for the Orc is that once the mana runs out, you're in big trouble. At the moment, there's still some mana left. One more Stomp came through, but now the mana is gone. Was that enough for Lin? He's got a 15 supply lead at the moment, but that might turn around. Kiting back towards the fountain. Lin doing as much as he can. He's got the expansion again, by the way. I didn't see that, actually. He went for the tiny Great Hall, and that might be what wins him the game here in the end. Which would be a sick play by Lin. Going with the expansion on tier 2, that failing, and then going towards tier 3. And that might be working out. The tier 3 upgrades from the Kodo and from the Wyvern are making a big, big difference. Lich in trouble as well. Pit Lord level 3. That's a big level up for him. Lich gonna be forced into that invul potion here, probably. One more coil. That was the last one. There is Burrow here as well. Mana potion on the DK. A few more coils to come through. Hardly any damage for 1-0, by the way. He doesn't have any claws or anything. He's only got the orb on the Lich. Sick game, though, by Lin. The fact that he could come back after losing the expansion. Normally, it's pretty much impossible. But he went for the tier 3. And that's what allowed him to have a chance in this. Farseer needs to be careful, but mana is low everywhere. Statue coming in again, makes it to the fountain, trying to staff out. Is that enough? Yes, it is. No coil used. Wouldn't have been enough there for a kill. Oh, Morphine's coming in. More web. The pressure is on 1-2-0. I'm not sure if he knows that there's an expansion. We certainly do. And again, a lot of kills going the undead's way. Lots of experience here for the undead heroes, but hardly any items. You can see the inventory in the top left. There's an invul and an orb and a TP. That's it. No damage, no auras, nothing. So these undead heroes aren't as strong as they usually are, even with these high levels. And yeah, high levels have been acquired now. With the coil, that Kodo goes down as well, trying to TP out, but the Fiend goes down. And then realizing he can get it with the Chain Lightning. And that's an interesting game now. Undead hero levels are pretty high, but there's an expansion for Lin, and importantly, he has the tier 3. If Lin gets to double level 5, I think this should be looking very winnable for him. At the moment, though, Lin had only 50 supply. That is not what you want with dual hero. 1-0 in upkeep already. The next fight here. If Lin holds on one more time, defends the expansion, and gets his double level 5, this might be his game. Still not in upkeep. Lin is probably going to try to go for some hit and run. Yes, definitely. His army is moving north. 1-0 doesn't have a TP. How much building damage does Lin have? Oh. Catches the statue. That's very valuable. Has to suck out the mana. TC with a stomp. The ghouls moving south towards the expansion, by the way. Oh wait, it was skeletons actually. Yeah, Lin is playing this smart. He's trying to buy time. Buy time for the expansion. Buy time for a bigger army. And the Farseer is staffing back to deal with the harass. Very well done. Lin is playing this smart. Back now in the main. Lin can go for some more mana pots. He's got a TP even. He's got double heal scroll, which is a really big help against this Cleave and Nova. Something he desperately needs. Are you kidding me right now? Sorry about this, boys. Oh, the Lich in trouble right there. Forced into the Invul Potion. 1-0's army seems to be disappearing. DK with 1 mana potion still. The Wyvern are the big damage dealers. 2 get taken out, but 2 new ones return. TC still has that mana potion. No, actually doesn't. Never mind. DK used the mana potion as well. Very close now to level 6. Level 5, excuse me. There's level 5. Not too many coils left anymore. Again, the armies have disappeared. That should be level 5 for the TC. Oh, not quite. He's almost level 5. It's so close. The Destroyer will be the level 5, but without piercing damage, not so easy to take out. Mana low across the board. Do you even want to summon the wolves right now? Probably not. Trying to take out the Lich, but there is Frost Armor. Pit Lord close to level 4 here as well. Mana on the DK pretty much non-existent. Lin's army has shrunk immensely though. And perhaps more importantly, the mana is gone. If 1-0 gets a statue back, that's going to be his mana sustain. Lin will want to take out the statue on the way. No reinforced defenses, so that Burrow should be going down quickly. Lich went for the Invul Potion, keeping that away also from the Farseer. Oh, Lich gets caught. Is there a coil even? Well, he's got the Invul Potion though. And there it is. Oh, Farseer getting focused. He's got the Invuln as well. Stressful moments in this fight. The Lich still super hurt. Level 4 for the Pit Lord. He's gonna have to use the Howl now next. The Lich should be dead though, with his damage coming through and the Chain Lightning. Yes, that's it. The Lich has fallen, and more Ensnares are ready. 1-0 has to go for the Tavern Revive. How many Ensnares are there? Seems like only 1. So he wants to take out the statue with that. Statue is the most valuable target. As 1-0 is running back to the tavern, buying Lich from a tavern. I know that feeling. And the statue is lost, I believe. Pit Lord seems to still be solo, distracting the Orc army. And you probably don't want to surround that one. Then he's going to play it safe. He's going to TP out. He's going to use some more clarities. That's a sick game. Unfortunately, we have to watch it with these subpar conditions. Main base is about to run dry. It seems like 1-0's time might be running out here. But he does have 5/4/4 heroes now. Needs to get the statues back. TC with a mana potion, healed scroll, invul on the Farseer, and TC level 5. TC level 5, that's the big difference. DK in fact with double mana pot. Pit Lord threatening the peons there by himself. Oh, and 1-0 getting caught off guard. Splits the fiends, dodges the end snare. But there's a reveal. It's 3 fiends going down right away. Oh, horrible start for 1-0 to this fight. The destroyer also gonna be falling here probably soon. TC with the next stomp, hits the entire army. 1-0 quickly losing his whole army here. Lich now getting focused. And that might be the end. It is the end. GG is called. And that's the 2-1 lead for Lin. Pretty crazy game. Unfortunately, my damn internet was problematic. So we didn't see it quite in its full glory, but we're going to be back in the game again for map number 3. Where either Lin is going to close it out or 1-0 can bring it back and make it a 5-map series. That's so hard to do. Playing this Farseer Tier 2 Expo, losing the expansion, and then still being able to win the game. Lin looking good there. I'm still a little concerned with the Farseer playstyle. I think if 1-0 plays it a little bit cleaner, maybe that's not going to work out. But all the props to Lin for playing an amazing game there on Concealed. As we move on to map 4, Northern Isles. Thank you very much. Jeweler is a pimp with a 9-month resub. Yeah, I think if 1-0 has 2 more good items there, like let's say a Medallion of Courage and Pendant of Energy, maybe he wins that game. But he had like nothing. He had absolutely nothing. He had an orb and an invul potion. That was it. But that's the game. Sometimes you get great items, and sometimes you don't. 2-1 lead for Lin. Can he close it out already? And get the revenge for DreamHack, where he was 3-1'd in the grand final by 1-0. DreamHack fall. 1-0 showed how strong he is in this matchup. He's sticking with the standard again. This map can absolutely be a Crypt Lord map. If you feel that you have to play Farseer against the Crypt Lord, the safe approach here is playing Farseer. But for Farseer Expo, this map is pretty horrible. Because the DK can get level 2 super easy with the double greens, and then you can always threaten a cancel against the expansion. Whereas the Farseer level 3 Crypt Lord really isn't that easy at all. Not even sure what that looks like. So is it Blade Master? Yes. And no Acolyte Scout, by the way. Well, he's scouting now, but it's pretty late. Why is the Acolyte so late? Maybe it took him a moment to find the sheep. Yeah, like the Blade Master here. Even if you're going up against the Crypt Lord, Blade Master can still be good on this map with a tier 3 counter expansion and so on. Alright, you guys want to do predictions.
A town is
Let's
under siege.
do it!
A player's forces are under attack.
Only 1 minute. Now let's focus on the game. Blade starting off with the claws. Very good beginning. Blade Master is still the strongest style against undead, but also pretty hard to play. You have to have a very good plan with when to be aggressive,
Forces are under attack.
when to play passively, how to creep, what creep route, how to be greedy, when to scout, what to look for. Normally 1-0, unlike Happy, will try to play more aggressively against a level 2 Blade Master, trying to slow down his progress, which I've always been a big fan of. Replenishment for the DK, very nice. So now 1-0 though, just creeping. Quite surprising. Usually he plays this a lot more aggressively. Really good items for Lich and Dark Ranger later. If he does play Dark Ranger. Pit Lord is also a possibility. And he's gonna give Lyn the middle for free.
Are under attack.
Lyn could actually creep this, but it's really risky to do, so he's not gonna attempt it. The replenishment potion here for 1-0, very nice right now. But Lyn could creep this camp for free. Now he can creep this camp for free with the lightning shield, by the way. Very easily done. Great usage by Lyn of that item. And he gets the Pendant of Energy. And 1-0 is too late to do anything about it. Blade Master hits level 3 with full mana. And this just looked like a Happy game. This looks like a typical Happy game. He's just going for his creep route. He's not concerned about the Blade Master. He's just going to let him do whatever he wants. And now the Blade is level 3. And he can control this game really well. I feel like normally 1-0 plays this a little more aggressively and a little better. Just simply better. It's not even a wall off for the Acolytes. Usually you can easily wall off right here, just with 2 Ziggurats. The DK is going to get level 3. But that's the tech delayed. Whereas Lyn already started his tier 3. Oh, is that a wall off? I think it is. Yeah. Okay, it's kind of cool. Walling off here with the Slaughterhouse.
A player's forces are under attack.
You want to start creeping with the Shadow Hunter right away? Level 1 Shadow Aggression with Hex. It's a very risky play. If the undead defends it well, you're going to be miles and miles behind, so the safer play is always to creep with the Shadow Hunter. Try to get level 3 as quickly as you can. And the fast level 3 Blade Master allows you to control the undead's creeping really, really well. That is the big problem of not disrupting level 3 Blade. Which is something that 1-0 usually always used to do. But apparently not here. Big mana potion for the Shadowhunter. Wonderful items. Claws, Pendant of Energy, and now a big mana potion. Oh, Blade Master gets one last hit. And a second. Oh. He's getting away with a lot right here. The DK is still super far away from level 2. The Lich, I mean. Okay, last hit and item goes to 1-0. But again, that was close. That was super close. He goes for the dust early. I like that. Wants to make sure he has a reveal against those fiends. Game is, of course, far from over. But the Blade Master did a good job. Slowed down the Lich, especially, who's still not level 3. Health Stone. Very good item for 1-0.
A player's forces are under attack.
As his tier 3 also is going to be finishing soon. But the TC already started. And the Shadowhunter almost level 3. Temple of the Damned here, pretty early. Some undeads nowadays. I saw this from Happy before. Actually delay the Dark Ranger for a really long time. Going up to 50 supply first. And then only going the Dark, adding the Dark Ranger when they go into upkeep. Oh, Raid Scout here with a skeleton. That will prevent Lyn from going for the red camp right away. Which is finally level 2. Blade Master, double gloves, double claws and circlet. Very good. Is he really going to try for the red cap? No. Okay, just a sentry ward. Yeah, that makes more sense. 1-0 could creep the red, but the way juicier part of the map is the top left, where the lab and the red and the spiders are still left. Kind of surprised to see Lyn creeping the rest of this one in the middle here. That doesn't seem to be super effective. It's Pitlord again! You know, X-Lord told me for the last couple of months that Dark Ranger is actually horrible and Pitlord is way better. Maybe 1-0 agrees. He bought gloves. Can put that on the Lich. As the first Banshee is out as well. Okay, didn't have the rally point there for a second, but does have it now. Destroyer form coming in as well. Normally at this point we would see Torrent Totem being added. Very hard position to go into here. This narrow bottleneck would be super hard for Lyn to take a fight, but he might try it. The Lich is somewhat vulnerable, but he does have the health stone, so... Actually, fast hit and item going to 1-0. It's the claws again for the Lich. Okay, the damage is real now. Plus 19. Oh, the frog! Blocking in the front line. Pitlord probably going to be dying here in a second. Aggressive Coil Nova. Lyn punishes it right away. But the Howl was used, and it's only level 1, so he's going to be back pretty soon. 1-0 trying to keep a front line over here. Trying to make it hard for the Orc army to engage. Stomp was used. That was the last one. Scroll speed coming in. Oh, misclick on the coil. He wanted to use it on the Fiend. So the Fiend goes down and the Banshee goes down. The next Fiend might be falling as well. Perhaps makes it away though. TC has his own speed scroll to get out of there. He's also got good survivability items. Splitting once again. Big mana potion on the Shadow. And that is so much more mana. 1-0 is going to have a tough time now winning this fight. Has to split against the Kodo at the same time. Wants to take out this TC, but he's not in kill range yet. 1-0 also doesn't want to leave this position. If he does, the red camp is going to be going to the opponent and possibly more. Takes out the TC though. And now in the scrappy situation, level 2 aura would definitely help. Hasn't chosen it yet. Another Berserker goes down. Blade Master trying to chase for kills, but he can't find them. 1-0 after losing the hero and the Fiend and the Banshee turns this fight around. Oh, that statue. Caught in no man's land. Coil Nova. Could get another kill here. Fiend and Banshee joining from the middle. And she has the second curse for the Blade Master. Oh, there it is. Well done. The Banshee goes down, but did her job. And the Pit Lord is back as well. Perhaps a little misrallied, but will be joining in a second again. Lich getting focused now, but there is curse applied, so not that much damage. He also still has that health stone. Might be forced into that pretty soon. Kiting once again looking good by 1-2-0. But the purges are still in effect. Dust being used. That was the last charge, by the way. And again, the purge is coming through. That's the way that the Blade Master can find these kills, thanks to the purge. It's a bloodbath over here. Both players losing a ton of units. It is level 2 aura, by the way. Dust is still active. Then it's gonna fall back, though. Dust settles, and 1-0 came out slightly on top there, I would say. Oh, Fiends on Burrow, and there's actually plenty of Fiends still left. Despite the big mana potion, Lyn loses that fight, despite the big mana potion and the Pit Lord being taken out early. 1-0 fights his way back and makes sure that the top left doesn't all go to the opponent. This would be a perfect time to go for an expansion here with an Acolyte. Lich still has the Health Stone. DK has 2 to 3 coils. Oh wow, Lyn. Engaging the camp at nighttime. But he's pulling it out towards the main, so he's playing it somewhat safe. Big last hit right here. Biggest item on the map, lots of experience. Blade Master didn't get level 4 yet, by the way. Doesn't have the level 2 crit yet. If he gets the last hit, he will have it. Oh, the Pit Lord gonna die again. Hellstone transferred, actually. Oh, last second. And that stomp was wasted. He was trying to take out the Pit Lord with the Hellstone, but he couldn't get it. Frost Armor is still active. Didn't get purged. And Lyn just wasted all of his aggressive potential. He wasted double Ensnare and Stomp and Heal Wave. And couldn't get the Pit Lord, who is now level 2. Even harder to kill. Blade Master still wants to get the big item. He wants to get the big item. Who's gonna get it? Blade gets the last hit, and the item as well. Medallion for him. Wonderful item for the TC. 1-0 wants to punish this rude steal. He's gonna get the rest of the camp, which is good experience for the undead, and he's expanding now. Lyn, what's his resources looking like? 600 gold. He could actually go for a tiny right now. That could be dangerous, though. He doesn't know if 1-2-0 is going to be pushing with 60 supply right away, which he could, by the way. Great game sense by Lyn. Realizing there might be an expansion coming up, the Blade Master solo can cancel this. And the Acolyte is not moved away. Usually you always want to have the Acolyte hiding here somewhere. But he saves it anyways. But that means the Blade Master isn't here with this army. Ooh. Lyn dodges a bullet. Seems like 1-2-0 didn't quite see his opponent right there. With the Blade Master in the north, 1-2-0 wants to gun down this Reaver right away. Get the big item. But he's caught between the camp and the Orc right now. Again, attention in the south. This means 1-2-0 can go for the expansion once more. Ensnare on the Lich. Heavy commitment on the second hero, and there's nothing to save him! No item on him anymore! The Hellstone was gone! And 1-2-0, one mistake on the positioning of the second hero, gets punished right away. Lyn heavily committed with the Hex and the Stomp, but he got the kill in the end. Can 1-2-0 still fight without his second hero Lich? Hard to do, but he's trying. Lich has not been restarted. The Pit Lord died as well! I didn't even see that. And that might be the end for 1-2-0 in this tournament. He's getting chased down now. Lyn seeing the opening. The killer is back in town. GG is called. 3-1 victory for Lyn. Man. Super cool games here by 1-2-0 and Lyn. On Northern Isles there towards the end. 1-2-0 had a big lead, actually. He had a big lead, but you always have to make sure you don't lose the heroes too easily. And Lyn He did it super well. He saw the weakness in that particular moment. He saw the Lich out of position, runs in, ensnare, hex, stomp, all perfectly used. And with the Lich down, 1-0 didn't have a chance anymore. Lin makes it into the semifinals. So our winners today are Lin and Sok, and that means no Chinese players left in the tournament. It's all South Koreans for the top 4. Which are going to continue tomorrow. Tomorrow, Neo and me, we're going to be back again. And we're going to cast the semifinals. Semifinals tomorrow, grand finals, and third place match on Sunday. And it's going to be Moon versus Loliot. And Sok versus Lin.